Yeah, he starts bringing those numbers up.
Yeah. I said it got
the agenda a little bit.
wow, you went too far. It hasn't even started yet.
It's time to start the meeting. There we go.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Regular board meeting, March 17th, 2025. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Sterling?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. McKnight?
Present.
Mrs. Carlson? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Hastings?
Here.
Mrs. Meeks? Here.
Pam Cook, Recording Secretary.
Charlie Yarbrough, Superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, Human Resources.
Michelle Earp, Curriculum and Instruction.
Jason Moon, Communications and Community Relations.
Josh Rand, Business and Operations.
All right.
All right, well, I think you all can guess.
Parker's in the house.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, thank you. She's here.
So tonight it is my pleasure to welcome our students from Parker Center, our Parker Pups, who are here to lead us in the pledge.
Let's switch up a little bit more.
There we go.
Does everybody see where the flag is? You guys all see the flag?
Well, thank you for having us tonight. These Parker Pups were selected because they have done a great job of showing their teachers that they can be respectful, safe, and ready to learn. All right, are you guys ready? All right, everybody please stand. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for our Parker Center promise. I
promise to make Parker Center a better place. I am respectful, I am safe, I am ready to learn.
Great.
All right, Kate, Center Pups, we're going to get a photo with our board. I'm actually be sure on a face move this way. And then we're going to get our board members coming behind and get a photo.
You don't have to be in the front row.
Only grade that this works.
If you want to get pictures, Phil, after his, Phil give you an opportunity to take pictures.
If there's any guardians that want to get a photo, you can do it. I'm going to take one and We'll do one real quick and I'll go away so that's all. All right, here we go. Look up here. One, two, three. Nice job. Perfect. Stay there because there might be some
Remember, I told you you gotta freeze till your grown-ups are done.
Everybody?
We're gonna go back this way to meet your grown-ups.
Great job, guys.
He's not a baby.
The ones that she But we have others. So it's just those particular ones that haven't been checked out. Oh, yeah.
I know.
We've got other ones. Those are just ones that haven't been touched.
All right. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
Motion. Second. Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
I recommend that we move 11C1, 11C2, and 11C4 to closed session.
C1, 2, 3, you said?
1, 2, 4.
Just 1, 2, and 4.
11C2.
Anybody have any issues?
Are we gonna do that in the normal flow of the agenda, or moving
1, 2,
up
and 4.
closed session?
11C1, 11C2, 11C4, correct?
And are we okay doing that at the normal positioning of the closed session, or moving closed session up?
We will,
We could do it afterwards. I don't think it's something that.
I mean, I could probably do some of this, after all this, of course.
After open session and stuff, we can do it with the rest of the closed session.
correct.
Okay. No, I don't have a problem.
I'm good.
All right. With moving those changes to 11C1, 11C2, and 11C4 to closed session, can I get a roll call? Can I get a vote on that?
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings? Aye. Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Dr. Turner?
All right. I do the mission statement, at every one of our meetings to show why we're here and what we're about. But after seeing the Parker Center kids, that's exactly why we're here and what we're about. So I got to follow them. But I'll still do the mission statement. The mission of the Harlem Consolidated School District as a vital part of the community is to help diverse learners realize their unlimited potential by providing an educational program dedicated to academic excellence and the development of strong character in a safe and respectful learning environment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the board meeting minutes, February 24th, 2025?
Motion.
Second. Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings? Aye. Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Just move. Nice.
You come this way. All right. This way.
Hardware.
I know, do some back braces for all that hardware.
I know. We'll just keep staying here for quite a while. See how long it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how long you can
You
hold
should feel
those.
how heavy my certificates are. Well, it is my pleasure this evening to introduce a familiar group of individuals, a familiar couple teams that seem to be invited every year because of their accomplishments. But this year, we're excited to introduce our state champs and state runner-ups, our boys and girls bowling teams. This is a pretty exciting time, as it always is for us with Harlem Bowling. We know that it's synonymous with Harlem School District, but I was really hoping to have both teams up here because I was doing some research and I struggled to find a lot of data around this, but I was really curious to see what other schools in the state of Illinois have had the level of success that the Harlem Bowling program has had. We had a year where we had both teams were champions, state champs. We've had, I have a full list starting from back, I started at 2000, of all of the really the top 12 finishes that have occurred between these two programs, and it's pretty incredible. And obviously this year, we're excited to recognize these teams for the accomplishments that they had. And I know that there'll be some more things happening. I was just talking to this gentleman here about some of his more recent 300 game that he had, which is a pretty amazing feat because I've already come close to that. But we're excited to recognize you all. But I'm going to turn over to the coaches because they can talk a little bit about the season and everything you all accomplished throughout the season leading up to your state run. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Nick here with the boys bowling program.
Hi guys, thanks for having us. Just run through a few things. This group here went 9-0 conference, so we were conference champs, regional champs, sectional champs, and then second at state. One of the top things for this group is there's 6 seniors here, and then Ben's a freshman. And the 6 seniors obviously bowled together last year, and Ben came in. We couldn't really put him aside because he's averaging 235 right out of the gate. So we had some discussions about how we could, kind of make this dynamic work, and these guys were just all in on the team. There was no real individual aspect at all for any one of them, so it worked out really well where all 7 of them actually are all conference, so 7 out of the 10 all conference bowlers are Harlan bowlers. That's the first time in history that it's even been 6. We only bowl 6 at a time, so that's a rotation in order to get them to qualify.
Wow.
All 7, so that to me is something that we like to at least talk about a little bit and congratulate them for, because they're all good enough to qualify that way, but for them to have the right mindset to kind of take the days off and things like that and give the other guys their chance is pretty impressive at this age for me. So definitely a team year for us.
Have you guys introduce yourselves. We're going to hear from the girls before we do that. But one of the things that, if you haven't had a chance to witness bowling happen, specifically obviously our teams, like the camaraderie not only within the team but across the teams is pretty amazing. The support and the rallying, like Coach was just saying, is pretty incredible to see. Them come together and to work as a team, and then obviously to accomplish that level of having 7 people all conference is pretty incredible. So, Coach Scott.
I was going to try to hide so everyone could have much taller than I am. Well, congratulations to the guys. Last night was pretty cool watching you guys up there. For the girls, we were 9-0 in conference. I believe this was our 10th year in a row of winning the conference championship. Wow. And if I think about that, we have been 88-1 or something like that over the 10 years. It's pretty impressive. Or 89-1, I don't know. It's pretty neat. And they just continue to keep coming. So that's pretty neat for us. And then we had 4 all conference girls. 3 of them juniors, 1 of them a freshman. We have 2 seniors and a sophomore and another freshman. And one of my highlights of this year was the very first day of the state tournament. I'm a little bit nervous because we had 3 juniors, 2 freshmen starting. And the very first game of the state tournament, I'm looking up and the 3 juniors are spare. And I'm looking up and here's the 2 freshmen, strike. And one of them, Sarah, shoots 267, game 1, first time she's ever been at the state tournament. So to me, that got us off on a huge start, put us in the lead, and we trailed 1 time by 8 pins, and that was at lunch on Friday, and then they never looked back. So these girls did everything they could, 1 regionals, 1 conference. We took 2nd at sectionals, but then they rebounded and ended up winning the state championship. So congratulations to them, and I'll let them introduce themselves once they're done.
Congratulations, girls.
I didn't forget, Ashlyn was also 2nd at the state tournament, so she was all-state as well.
So Devin was all-state, Ashlyn was conference MVP, and Devin was conference MVP. So we brought that hard
Wow.
That's awesome. Congratulations. All right, so we want to hear from you all, obviously. So name, what grade you're in. If you're a senior, if you want to tell us kind of what your plans are for next year, what you're thinking about doing, we'd love to hear that as well. We'll start down here.
My name is Dave Titus. I am a senior. I'm Devin's brother. I'm going to Rock Valley for 2 years, take business classes, and eventually take over my dad's business.
All right.
Okay, so like Dig, I'm Dig's brother, obviously. I'm a senior as well. Yeah, I'm a senior as well. I plan on going to take my bowling skills and knowledge to Mount Mercy in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They're ranked like #1 in the United States Bowling Congress rankings as of this year. So, very talented team. Hopefully, I can make that team and carry on my bowling skills.
Nice.
I'm Andrew Bell, and I'm a senior as well. I'm going to Rock Valley to pursue aviation mechanics.
Awesome. Yeah.
And always been into engines and stuff. And so I'll be seeing him there, and then I can't really point because I'm in there too. So, yeah.
I'm Colton Kilbreth. I am also a senior, and after high school, I really don't know what I want to do, but I think I'm going to go to RBC and go into a trades.
Yes, sure, yes.
I am Ben Dolly, and I'm a freshman, and I am not going to college.
I'm Braylon Carpenter. I'm also a senior, and I am also taking my bowling career to the next level collegiately. I'm currently going to Judson University studying business management and media works, and hopefully I can also take my skills to the next level.
Awesome. I'm hiding back here. My name is Simon X. I'm also a senior. I'm going to Rock Valley, and I want to study engineering.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'm Ashlyn Tevis, and I'm just a junior. I'm Allison Roberts, and I'm also a junior. I'm Alexis Bourne, and I'm the last junior.
I'm Sarah Wilson, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Katie Martins, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Chloe Badine, I'm a senior, and I'm going to RBC to go into nursing.
Awesome. Cool.
And Kaylee, and I'm freshman.
I'm Chloe Broughton, and I plan to go to Quincy University and study for early childhood education, and also take my bowling to the next level.
Awesome. Cool. Coaches, can you introduce yourselves too?
I'm Kim Katie. I coach Harlem Middle School and joined the Harlem High School coaching staff this season.
Mike Broad, assistant coach. And what Jimmy and Nick forgot to tell you, they were also Nick 10 coaches of the year as well. So.
Oh, hey.
It's all because of them. And these guys.
Well,
Couldn't
these
do
two-
without our assistant coaches, so, or these kids. These kids are awesome.
These two have been influential in developing these programs into what they are. They've been around for a long time. I was looking up some records, and Coach Jimmy, you've had 8 state championships, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you started in the '96 season. And
Wow.
you started in
Yeah, I was
in my head,
Jimmy's
so-
assistant coach in '04, so.
Well, Nick was also, he bowled for me and won the first boys state championship.
My son, and he coached my daughter.
What a pedigree.
You can't even do it justice, really, so we'll just play with that next year.
And as mom.
So,
and our other coach, Lindsay.
Yeah,
And Lindsay, our other coach, who's not here, she's also a state champion.
And Paige Carpenter, who's also back there.
I feel we could probably keep going, but we will cut this off. So on behalf of the board, the Harlem School District, all of our staff, our students, our community, obviously big kudos and congratulations to you all for the hard work and the effort and the accomplishments that you have. We're excited to be a part of this with you all. So we are going to do a photo, and it will be a big one, but we're going to do a photo together. So then you'll be able to put these things down that you can hold in the board if you want to come around. So you guys want to kind of come in? We'll kind of scrub down.
Back to
Nice one, last
I don't even know where to start.
Do you want to do 2 different teams?
Just got the edge.
I'm sorry. This way, this way.
Jason, do you want to do 2 different teams?
We may have to.
I can't see all these guys. I'm just gonna wave.
If you would slide up and slide that way, we'll do two different ones. Because girls, you will not see the board. So we'll do girls first, and then we'll do boys first.
Separate.
Oh, sorry. I'll get one and I'll get away. I promise. There go two things. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Got it. All right, great job.
Yeah, I don't know. I can get a good 6-foot ladder, this will be okay. Oh, no, this is just it. This is.
So these two conversing. So get that picture taken right down here.
I have a hard time about this. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So we've got we just for next week.
Yeah, just put this in the calendar.
No, I'm trying to hunt it out. Do we have more?
No.
Hey, Jason?
But I guarantee if the money's right, you can get one of the kids to go stay at the bowling alley for a little while.
I'm motion to adjourn.
Wait till you see me next year at football game.
Can't get any better.
Sorry.
It was so moist. That's amazing. I got cake.
All right, so tonight we have another recognition, an opportunity to highlight one of the cool experiences and offerings that our high school has. We've seen this program before in the past. We've been able to recognize some students that have participated, but this year I get to introduce a new advisor to you all, Mr. Michael Nair, who is a high school teacher. We have here him and a few of our students from the Model UN group that has done a lot of different things, but I'm going to let them tell you about it because it's obviously there's a lot more coming from them. So I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that.
Well, Model UN basically is the students go and they're assigned a country and they do what people at the UN do as diplomats. And so they're in a big room with other students who are representing other countries. They have certain international problems that they have to solve. And they come up with ideas, they have to give speeches, and they have to make a coalition of different students to vote on these speeches and different proposals, and at the end they have some things that they pass. And so the whole bit of it is to be pretending like you're this diplomat there. And it's a great way to improve your public speaking, your comfortability working with people. It's great for college, looks great on college applications, it's also a good way to network with people for later on. So Avery, could you just tell me a little bit about...
I did forewarn them that we were going to ask them this week. So.
Avery, I got Avery here. What country did you represent?
Oh, I was Oman.
Okay. What was the committee?
It was the legal committee.
Okay. Very good. And Giselle, what country did you represent? Gambia. Okay. And what was it? It was SACUM for that? SACUM, the funny thing about the United Nations is that they have these, they have 3 or 4 different words which they smash into one word, like SACUM and DISIC. And SACUM is just the social, humanitarian and cultural committee, so it kind of deals with those issues internationally, and then they have certain problems that they have to solve. So And the big thing that we did in February was we went to Chicago at the Model UN conference there, which the University of Chicago puts on. It's a massive international conference. People fly in. I mean, we saw people flying in from Texas, people flying in from California, and also international. So it's like almost the biggest of its kind. It might be the biggest or the second biggest of its kind. And so we do that every year. And that's the highlight, sort of the capstone of the season.
So would you guys be willing to talk a little bit more about, so like you said, legal, so tell me a little bit about what you participated in.
So our two main topics that we discussed, we had a topic A and topic B. And our topic A was rights to resources, and our second was universal jurisdiction. So we ended up voting on topic A, and we discussed rights to resources and how to like allocate the resources needed for different countries and stuff.
So how many other students or how many other countries were represented or anything?
Mine was more like medium sized. We kind of have like different like, I don't know how to say, like sizes to the committees. So yours was General Assembly. Mine was also General Assembly, but it was smaller. And then we had hybrid and crisis.
But we didn't
smaller.
have
We didn't have any
Yeah.
crisis.
Okay.
So mine was probably about 100 kids, but Giselle's was like 300.
Oh, cool. Wow, very cool. And so tell us a little bit about what you worked on.
Well, my committee, they decided to vote on topic A, which was basically coming up with solutions for those refugees seeking asylum, and each country just kind of states their position on it. I think there was like almost like 50 countries in one room, and most of them were like double delegates, so it was like 2 per country.
Yeah. So they get teamed up in that situation. 2 Harlem kids are one country, kind of like on a team, and then everyone else is a pairing there.
Very cool. Well, we're excited and thank you for supporting this and giving this experience to our kids. I'm assuming it was a great experience for you all. What and how old are each of you?
I'm a senior.
Senior. Junior. Okay. So senior. What's next for you?
I committed to the U of I, so.
U of I. Okay. What do you plan to study?
It is kind of similar to what we do in Model UN, like geography, human geography, and studies.
Awesome.
Staying in the social studies.
I do.
Yeah.
So nice.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for representing us. I'm sure you guys did a wonderful job there representing Harlem. Thank you for putting that on and supporting these kids and getting to have this opportunity. I think it's pretty cool. We've got a lot of these clubs and organizations and groups that kids can be a part of, and it's pretty cool to see these experiences play out. And I'll try to remember to send you all a link. I've done it in the past when we've had them up here, but I'll send you a link to the website. Like you have to play around with that a little bit and see. Like it is really a pretty cool experience. Obviously, I've never been to it, but from what I see on their website and what they offer, things the kids get to be a part of is pretty awesome stuff. So I'll send that your way. But on behalf of our board, our community, thank you for representing us. Thank you for being awesome students, and we wish you the best next year. And maybe we'll see you back next year as a senior.
Thank you.
So you know how many we had to do? That's why you got the Nikes on.
Yeah. the green ones too.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Here's
Good job.
I just stood there. I figured you'd fill it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, there you are.
I have one more.
We're good?
So I'm excited this evening, and I know that you've all seen this because everyone who reads our Around 122 newsletter, we get the opportunity tonight to recognize an individual that has been recognized by the Illinois State Board of Education. She was earned the Teacher of Excellence Award. Is that the official title? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I grabbed the wrong piece of paper. Yeah, that'll work. Yep, no. The Award of Excellence. It's the Teacher Award of Excellence, but it's the Award of Excellence from the State Board of Education. Ms. Stacy here is, I'm going to read this a little bit so you can kind of see. I know that many of you have met her before because we've been here recognizing students in our education pathway in the past, which we will be doing soon again. We should probably just put those on the same night, but
that's pretty
busy
tonight.
I know, we're going to have her back again soon with a few students too. But so I'm just going to read a little of this to you. It says Harlem's proud to announce that Stacy Taylor is a consumer science teacher at Harlem High School, has earned the Illinois State Board of Education's Award of Excellence. She teaches the education pathway and operates Paul Prince Preschool within her curriculum and classroom. She has taught the gamut of family and consumer science courses since 2003. Leslie is excelling in the area of human development, early childhood education, and teacher education. The Award of Excellence is the most prestigious of those who excel honors from the State Board of Education. These are educators that have demonstrated a commitment to equity to the success of all students. They regularly collaborate with colleagues, students, and families to create positive cultures. They are lifelong learners who connect their schools to the community at large and who inspire other education professionals within and beyond their schools. And so Stacy is one of 5 that was selected from Winnebago County, so they do this by region. They have Teacher of the Year finalists, and then they have individuals that are recognized for 3 different awards. The Award of Excellence is the highest honor, and so the 5, I think, total were made up of the 3 different categories. I don't believe there was maybe one other person from Winnebago County that also received the Award of Excellence. So that's pretty cool to have that level of recognition. If you ever follow us on Facebook, we often post pictures of students in the Education Pathway Program and some of the things that they get to be participating in, certifications, and all that type of stuff. And without fail, like every time the comments that follow that is always pretty amazing. And most of it, many of it, is due to her. And most of those comments are about the program and what she brings to the program and how she interacts with the students that are in that program. And there's so many people jumping on. I had Stacy as my teacher and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's really cool. And that just shows you like the environment that she creates and the opportunity she creates. Obviously, in an education system near and dear to our heart is the pathway that you're focusing on, because she's our pipeline, right? She's helping us hopefully bring students back here to work for us and to pursue the career of education. And so, do you want to say anything? I should have probably led with that.
Just tonight in the lobby, I saw parents of kindergartners who I had in class, and I was like, whoa. But I saw about 4 that I was like, hey, how you doing? But it's been my passion. Harlem has been constant in my life. Through lots of tough stuff. So I've grown up with Harlem. My girls are here. We loved it. We're not going anywhere. So I'm very proud of everything that we do here.
Well, we're obviously, we can see through the emotion, incredibly proud. I'm proud to be able to call you colleague, but proud to have you as a part of our district. And again, because of the focus and the impact that you're making on our students, we're so grateful for you. And we're excited that you get that honor. Now, I didn't print this out, but there's the banquet. Are you going to attend that?
Yeah. Currently, my parents are fighting for who gets to go.
Okay.
We'll only get 3 tickets, and so my husband was here, but he had to run off to get my daughter from her theater. But so now it's a toss-up between does mom get to go or dad get to go. So I don't know if they're going to have to draw straws or how it works, but yes, we will be.
So there's an official banquet that ISB has that they'll obviously recognize her in that capacity. So on behalf of the board, our community, our staff, our students, our families, our current students, our alum that have been a part of your class, we want to say congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good for you all.
Yes.
So we the last one. Just go to the side. We'll say a lot of us to say.
Jason, should we get another one?
Nope. I'm not even in colors. I'm just gonna take them out. All right, we got 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be in touch with you.
We'll probably see you again in 2 or 3 months as soon as school starts up.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Stacy.
Now you're done? Okay.
Now that the room's empty.
There are, at this time, there are no comments from the community. Can I get, can we go over to the bills?
All right. That is a tough act to follow because it was from the pledge all the way down. I would like to mention that only one person left when he was done and when I started, so that's a record. We'll call it a win.
Your math still works.
All right. The total payables for the period were $1,194,121.46. There were void checks of $13,806.72. There were 2 payrolls this period in the amount of $7,209,879.64 for total expenditures of $8,404,001.10. Split out by fund, the education fund paid $7,042,031.80. The operations and maintenance fund paid $400,541.50. The transportation fund paid $366,129.85. The IMRF Social Security Fund paid $254,132.98. The Capital Projects Fund paid $292,039.97. And the Life Safety Fund paid $49,125. Again, for total expenditures of $8,404,001.10. Are there any unanswered bill questions? That is it for the bills.
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion.
Second. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings? Aye. Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
All right, with that, turning over to Communications Committee reports. Mr. Aaron McLean.
All right, so first of all, Jason, thank you for bringing in. I'm going to kind of go over the thank yous to, I think, my fellow board members will pick me up because I have something really important that I really want to talk about. But I want to thank you, Jason, for bringing in these, Parker Center, the bowling. Every year, I feel like we should just put it on the calendar, especially not taking anything away from the boys, but the girls. I think they only had 1 senior, which is amazing. And of course, Stacy, amazing job every year. So today we are up for approval. Is probably in the 2 years I've been here is probably one of the, or if not the most important things that we are going to vote on, and that's the K through 5 new curriculum. And I just kind of, for the people that didn't watch the committee of the whole, I just wanted to reiterate kind of what our staff and administration went through to come to this conclusion. And I want to first of all say I appreciate it. It was a months-long project. They started out with I believe it was more than 10 different curriculums, narrowed it down in multiple rounds, and then put 2 rounds into, what do we call it, a testing or a test. And sitting up here watching, looking at the presentation, we spent probably 2 hours trying to shoot holes in it because of the cost, because of this, because of that, and it walked away unscathed. And I just want to say that I appreciate what was gone into it, and this curriculum will literally shape our district for the next 5 to 10 years, in my opinion. I feel that as a district, with no fault of anybody, we've kind of hit that plateau, and this is something that needs to be done to get us to that next level. So for the consideration, cost, what it entails, all that stuff, just for the people that didn't watch Committee of the Whole, There were a lot of questions. There was a lot of great answers. It's been tried and true in other districts. On this weekend, I actually asked, or Mike actually asked for stories about other districts in the area that are doing it. And we got a sample size, and out of the 3 that I looked at, it was between 12 to 20% improvements in the first 2 years. So I just want to say that this is probably, like I said, one of the most important votes that I feel that I feel that I'm able to make as my time here as a board member, and I just want everybody to know what went through it. This isn't something that was just thrown at us and we're like, yeah, let's go. It was research. There was a panel, and trust me, the cost is a tough pill to swallow, but in my opinion, the kids are worth it. So with that being said, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
You missed the $200,000 that we were able to work off of it with the fantastic negotiation skills as well.
And they did work off $200,000 to get it to where it was even it was better off for our district. Thank you, Kurt. See, I told you my other board members would help pick me up on that one. So with that being said,
Procedure 10. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Rebecca Carlson.
Thank you. I have a few things here and there, so if you'll just work with me. I went to the medical clinic, open house. That was really cool. That was really, really cool. It was a really nice clinic. I have spent probably an hour with Cassie and Rachel, who are the nurse and the assistant in the building. The doctor was a wonderful lady to deal with. I have a little struggle to understand her because she's not native. I don't mean it in a bad way. But she was a real sweet lady, and she really enjoys what she's doing. There are some small things. I spent some time, of course, with Cassie and Rachel, and there were some things that were brought up that need to be looked at a little bit. Nothing substantial, but just a lot of little things. It seemed like when RJC got done, there were a few things that were just kind of left floating. And so things like the HVAC system, which they said, comes in from the front door and doesn't go into the exam rooms, and so they have to leave the front doors open. And then, of course, it's unsafe to have the front door open with the heat going all the time. But I know I sat in the front room a little bit just to visit, waiting for people, and it was probably 90 degrees in that waiting room. And then the exam rooms were probably about 45, so definitely need a little bit of tweaking on that one. And then there were just some simple things that they had given me, like none of the rooms have coat hooks. And so we're looking at just simple, like, let's put some coat hooks in the bathrooms and in the exam rooms and places where they just kind of need to update some things. But they both love their jobs, and they're really impressed at what they're doing. And so it was a really neat visit at the clinic. I went to the Kishwaukee dinner, which is the first dinner I have been to. But I was a little bit disappointed only because my understanding was that it was going to be an actual dinner. It turned out it wasn't a dinner. It was more of a appetizers at the tables. And I was a little disappointed in the IASB only because the room was so overcrowded. And we were literally on top of each other, and people couldn't get around to even get their awards and get between people. And of course, we're sitting around and everybody's eating slimy, greasy chicken wings, which, I understand it's all appetizers, but, you're shaking hands with people and you're like, hey, this is disgusting. But, so that was the only thing that I found to be really concerning. The sessions were amazing, really good sessions. I really enjoyed Huntley. That was fantastic. Some of the things that they are going into doing, what they call the silver passes, and I assume that our gold card is going to be basically the same thing. But they allow their seniors, for anybody that hasn't heard of it, get to come in and they get to visit with the schools, and they can go to anything that's going on in the schools. I mean, they can go to the plays and the programs and just everything. So that's amazing, because these are our stakeholders who don't know as much about what's going on in our school district as they would probably like to, and would love to be in the middle of things and not have to pay for things and be able to come to anything they want to come to. I would like to see it go just a slight bit bigger than that and offer the seniors an opportunity to come in and tutor our students or help our students or work in our math classes or work in our culinaries, where maybe we have a former cook who knows some amazing recipe and would love to teach it to the culinary students, or something of that. So it'd be really neat to have an option for that for our seniors as well. And if, you know, if they have to have background checks or something, I'm sure they're not too worried about that. But I found the candidate meet and greet was really kind of neat. It was neat to see all the different candidates, both the trustees for the township as well. I found it interesting, the questions, a lot of them, and I learned later that they were all from the students, not from any of the staff questions. So it was interesting how they had worded some of the questions and changed some of the questions, and some of the questions were the same, but they were different for different people. So it was interesting that way to see a lot of the things that they brought up. It was sad to me that we have worked on the auditorium, and we've tried to repair the lights and the catwalks and things like that, but the whole evening, it seemed like all of the candidates were sitting in the dark, and microphones quit working, and they'd pass around microphones, and then they wouldn't work, and so it just seemed like, I don't know. It could have been, you know, that people didn't know how to turn them on. It could have been pretty much anything, but it was just kind of disheartening to think, we're trying to hear somebody, and somebody's passing mics around, and so it just seemed like it could have been put together. And maybe League of Women Voters brought in all their own mics, and then that was, you know, who knows what happened. But it was just, that was the only thing that I found kind of sad for the program. I want to say Happy St. Patrick's Day to anybody who is either born or is Irish on this day. And don't forget to vote. This is our last meeting before the April vote for new or re-elected board members. So if we remember that, just vote. You gotta vote, and you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta stand up, and you gotta, you know, if you don't vote, you can't complain. So we know we need to go vote for our people. But I also like the ELA, and I was not here Wednesday, sadly I missed out on that one. But I would kind of like to see it tabled just for a month possibly, because I personally would like to see some of what we are looking at. I don't know if anybody has actually been given some of the information. I know you said you had looked at some of it, but you know, not having a visible, you know, what are they learning, what are they not learning, what are, you know, are we doing spelling, are we doing phonics, are we doing a bunch of different things? That was all on Wednesday. Yeah, okay, so that was Wednesday. Okay, so unfortunately I missed out on that, being home, but I wish I hadn't. And other than that, I wanted to get together with Josh and Terrell a little bit about the clinic, just because I know they had some things that they wanted repaired and corrected. So other than that, it's pretty much good for me. It's back to you.
So much. Thank you, Mr. McKnight, for the due diligence on checking on those other schools that were using that curriculum. Well done. Thank you very much.
I think the one he mentioned was Barrington. Was it Barrington?
Barrington?
But Barrington, Freeport was actually one of the schools. Freeport was at a 12% increase.
Wonderful.
I mean, yeah.
Wonderful. And thank you to Ms. Anderson and the Parker Pups. It was wonderful having your Ready to Learn bunch here to lead us in the pledge. So thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Bloom, for continuing to keep in front of us and the community all the great things that go on here in the Harlem School District. I think it's great. We've got state champions that you're always introducing. We have state recognized excellent teachers in this district. We have state recognized school board members in this school district. And this is a very high functioning school district. And yeah, we need to keep saying that these people that we as the collective, this community, puts in place to work with our kids are of extremely high quality, and we're very fortunate to have them. I was saddened to notice the other day that the snowman was banished from the board office.
Melted.
He had 77.
It melted.
That time of the year, I guess, when all good things must come to an end if you're a snow person. So, but again, thank you very much, Mr. Yarborough. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. You good? All right. Megan Hastings.
All right. Did you have something else?
No,
Okay.
I'll wait until
I got a long list. I'm gonna read off my screen. So, I talk about them all the time, probably sick of it, but our culinary arts students have been putting in overtime lately. I don't know how many events they've done for the school district. There's got to be some cost savings in there. But they did, the two that I saw right off the bat were the literacy night for Olson Park. Their book, their one school, one book theme, or actually title, was pie. So they made pie for the literacy night. So cool to see that. And then of course they catered the town hall as well. So not only student led, not only student Q&A, but also student catered. So that was really cool. So kudos to the culinary program for really putting like the kids to some real life work experience and catering those events. On the same topic of the town hall, I would be remiss to not shout out the journalism students and HNN for their work on the town hall. I have been to quite a few of these League of Women Voter events in the last month and a half. Ours was way different and in the best possible way. So having our students lead it, our students come up with the questions. They worked in advisory, coming up with student surveys, and really making sure that this was such a thoughtful and well put together event. I'm just extremely proud to go to, like I said, several League of Women Voter. It's campaign season, so several League of Women Voter events, and ours be such a standout. And it be because of our students, which is why everybody should be sitting at this table at the end of the day. So kudos to anybody who had their hands in that event. It was fantastic. As you guys know, I read a lot, and I was reading some local news. There were some teachers that got some grants, and out of 12 grants handed out by this 9 handed out grants by this particular, it was the Delta Kappa Gamma Mini Grant Program. Harlem took home 3. So Miss Coletta at Maple secured some funds to update her classroom collection of poetry books. Heck yeah. Miss Proper at Harlem Middle School to purchase graphic novels to help bridge the gap between picture books and chapter books for our incoming 6th grade students. And then Miss Pruitt to curate a wide range of age-appropriate books across genres designated to inspire a love of reading in 6th graders. So kudos to the teachers that not only sought out those grants, but for the fact that you got them, and again, pushing our kids to love reading. If you can read, you can teach yourself anything, and it is probably, I would say, the #1 thing right now to do is just read a book. Read across Parker Center. Didn't time that, but it happened. I got Miss Bauer's class. I coincidentally picked a short book. They let me know how short it was and that I should have picked a longer book. But we got to talk about, because the next day was their day off, so we got to talk about their plans on the day off. A lot of parks, a lot of trampoline parks, a lot of hanging out with brothers and sisters. So thank you, Miss Bauer's class, for inviting me in. As board members, we get invited to a lot. I think all of us try to make as much as we can. The one thing I don't make as much as I want to is the college signings for athletics, because they are just in a sweet spot on the workday. So I wanted to shout out Miss Cooper sent us Connor, Angel, and Mackenzie. So congratulations to those students for signing. So sorry that we can seldom, or sorry, didn't want to talk for everybody. I can seldom make those, but congratulations nonetheless. I'm on the fence about mentioning Miss Sterling because I'm sure, Mr. Sterling would like to mention her, but I gotta say she kind of she kind of took over Facebook Facebook this week. So I could not, not only is she doing one of the coolest science things ever in Mammal Madness, which is like March Madness, but animals. The greenhouse is rolling again. They'll have their flower sale in May. And she was Teacher of the Week for ZOK. So Miss Sterling kind of killed it this week. So I really couldn't ignore the fact that she is doing incredible things over at the middle school. And lastly, I will echo Ms. Carlson. Early voting starts today. Get out and vote. It is extremely important. And if you've missed the candidate form, our HNN or our Harlem News Network posted the whole thing to YouTube. So you can watch it and get informed. And that's it.
You rock. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, education.
Oh, I missed the one thing I actually had to say. Next Education Committee is April 9th at 4:30 as part of Committee of the Whole. Thank you for the reminder.
And thank you for the reminder. Hello, everyone. Jason, thank you for bringing all the students, not just sports, but also the students that are doing above and beyond in their educational pursuits. Love to see the Modern UN. Just the different subjects, the different things that they have to do and prepare. And I don't know how forceful the junior was. I don't remember her name right off the bat.
Her name was Giselle.
Giselle. But just to be out there and be able to speak in front of all those people, that's kudos. I mean, I couldn't see myself in high school going into a room of 300 other kids that I did not know and having to be given a subject on the spot and try to do that. So that is awesome for both parties. I mean, I know our kids represent us well. Obviously, I've had emails and requests about our bowling program from parents in the district trying to figure out how to get their kids re-enrolled into Harlem just to get back into the bowling program. That's amazing. I mean, everybody always thinks of football or something first, but Harlem and bowling is awesome. They won the last 10 years. They've lost one game. They said 80-something and one.
88.
88 and one.
88 and one.
Not bad.
Wow.
But I mean, that's crazy. That's awesome. I mean, I'm just feeling like if you're from another school and you see a Harlem on there, you're like, all right, dude. That's good. That's good for us, and those are good for our kids. They use Wells Park bowling alleys to do this. So practice. These are our kids and our family members.
Even the state was at Cherry Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Really?
All the time.
State was at Cherry Bowl. Yes.
Aaron, you're always awesome. What you're doing at Parker, the teachers you have at Parker. I mean, again, Golden Apple, you just exude the best in what we are. So thank you. Our teachers that was awarded by ISP. Yes. That is awesome. Like Stacy, just to be one of the best teachers in the state, just to be awarded. And again, that's Harlem again, just showing through and through what we do here. I have to say, my wife. She was a teacher of the week, 97 ZOK. But also that was by a student, and like reading what the student said of how they were sure they weren't going to like science.
Oh.
They knew that they were going to probably fail.
Oh.
And now after being in class, they don't feel that way. Just that little win there, like they can go to school with the thought of actually passing a class when they thought that they weren't. So I definitely have to give my wife a thing on that, but she did corner me, so yes, I'm in March Mammal Madness, and I am losing to her right now. So that's I'd also like to discuss board the middle school on getting something in front of any updates that we might need to do going forward. It's not, we've done it as a committee before and talked about it. We've had engineers come out, there's only certain things that we can do, but we're not building another middle school anytime soon.
No.
So, I know we already have it, a lot of the stuff in planned in stages or whatnot for life safety or whatnot, but to see if expansion through courtyards or the taking the actual portables that have become permanent.
Yeah.
And making something that way, but just giving options and then being able to present something to the community, because at this time, like, that's gonna be a community project. So this is gonna be one of those things, if we decide that it has something to do, it's gonna be many hands to try to help out. Yeah, it's 2 weeks to April 1st. Vote. Get your voice heard. Research. Also, it's part of your civic duty. So, I mean, that's what we come, we help, but you also have a voice. So, whatever that is, love to hear it. With that, our next board meeting will be April 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Our next policy committee meeting will be April 9th at the committee of the whole.
There's no policies yet for that one yet?
Not yet.
Have we thought of, like, with all the tragic news out of Rockford, of just revisiting some of our policies and seeing what they've done afterwards to make sure that we're up to date on everything that we need to do, as well as just looking where their lessons learned. What did they do? What are they pulling to make sure that we're
For bullying?
Huh?
For bullying?
For bullying, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's important, right? Ours are there, technology's so much changing.
Yeah. We did actually review all of our policies when we had our SBC meeting last week with all of our assistant principals, as well as we had talked with our principals the day before that, because we too felt the same thing
Right, yeah.
with the concerns that happen, wanting to make sure that we are following all of our processes and procedures, and really looking out to make sure that if there is a concern about a kid, that we're following everything to try to get down to the to determine what is causing that.
Is there some notes that, one, you could share with the board, and potentially some notes we could share with the community on kind of what was found from that review?
We put something together.
Okay, yeah, just to make sure, right? Like, it's nice to hear that we're being proactive and we're doing it, but I'd like to see kind of what came from that, and, you know, what action items we can pull if it's not policy. Sorry, Mike, I stole it, but it was going with no, and I was like, I gotta make sure we do this right.
You're on a roll, I was not gonna.
Yeah, it's your time anyway.
Well, not yet, I haven't.
No,
I haven't seen the
yeah.
time.
No.
All right, my last statement for right now. We're going into spring break. Please be safe. Enjoy your time, seniors. Be safe. You got a little time left. Get your stuff done. We'll see you at the Metro, the BMO. All right, and with that.
Still the Metro Center to me.
I know, it's always.
Orange box. Big orange box.
All right, wow, we had lots of good talking points. I am feeling like Mr. McKnight here at the back end of this thing with hopefully not too many echoes. Mrs. Anderson, it has been busy with Golden Apple and bringing the friends in today, and I also was able to do Read Across Parker Center, had Mrs. Merrick. I picked a appropriately long book, and I also like to ramble, as many of you know, and was able to share some of those rambling good stories with the class on, I'm trying to remember which one it was, I read it now. I'll come back to it, it'll hit me. But it was great to do that and enjoy and read with the class. My whole list, and I have a long list, I assure you, and you guys, if it was bingo, I would have won. You hit so many of them. I did notice that no one, in fact, did mention School of Rock. was past couple weeks, right? It was.
This is why we pick each other up.
It was absolutely phenomenal, not just because of the theater, not because it was a musical, but the collaboration between band and our theater, and the fact that we had kids that had never knew how to play half the instruments. If you didn't see it, one, if you know that movie, you're at least my age, but taking something that has Jack Black as the lead and then putting a student into that is very difficult. And someone should remind me of his name, was phenomenal. And then the entire supporting cast all played instruments, and they didn't fake play the instruments. They played the instruments. So some of them hadn't played these instruments, and they were doing bass, drum, guitar, and then there was an actual pit. So all the music wasn't just coming from the sound system. It was actually being played downside of the actual stage. I've never quite seen anything as cool as that, and the fact that it was coming from our students, the collaboration was everyone was there. It was amazing. If you missed
incredible.
it,
3 sold out.
yeah, I was there the first night, not late, and no tickets were left. Thankfully, seats were left. No programs left, and it continued to go that way. It was phenomenal. I can't wait to see what they do next on that one for sure. And that's just the start of like. I brag about Harlem a lot. I brag about our students a lot, and it's hard not to. Like, you guys hit a lot of these points, and I'm going to go even over a couple of them. Besides everyone that we bring in, and we get to see the great stuff here, but seeing everything in the community, I was able to take part of the town hall. It is available. You can see all of that. It was great to do that. The way that our students were able to run this. No nerves, no nothing, just asking people that are running for these tough questions, and the fact that they wrote these questions, had the confidence in these questions, and they weren't like, what do you think about blank? They were well written, and you could tell. They were written so that they invoked, you had to pause, you had to think, you couldn't just jump out of them and say what you wanted to say. They held everyone, myself included, accountable for the answers that were directly there, and sparked follow-up afterwards with the community. These were written by our students. Like, this wasn't, ChatGPT or Googling what should I ask. Like, again, incredibly impressed by this. You get done with that, and then everyone that was working on setting up the stage for School of Rock, they were in there. They had everything set up for that, and they did a fantastic job. Coming off the stage, having additional questions, and seeing what we're doing about stuff, and asking questions like, why is the only pathway for fine arts through fine arts? Why is it invisible? These are great questions. Again, not even from the community, from our students. You get done with that, the culinary. I had to stop talking and make sure I stopped by to check out some of their desserts. They were fantastic. Best chocolate chip cookies. If you didn't get some, I'm sorry. It was worth listening to me just for the chocolate chip cookies alone. But again, there's so much. I can't stop bragging about our students just doing amazing things. From that, our phenomenal bowlers that I say, I can't, everything's been said, say it again. I'm just how absolutely phenomenal that is. Model UN, getting in front of a crowd, absolute strangers, knowing a topic, being able to do that in Chicago? Come on. I wouldn't want to do that. You guys? No?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Again, phenomenal, and all these guys are absolutely going places, and they're from Harlem. They're part of our community. They are directly due, obviously, to their hard work and their parents, but partially to us and our community. They're a product of it. They're our investment when it comes to that. Man, yeah, see, there's all the other stuff. I will say, yes, mammal badness.
March Mammal Madness.
Yeah, say that at least slow. Team Polar Bear is going to take it all the way. We're going to see. We're in trouble. We're aligned. Last year, I won because I was not aligned with Sterling, so we shall see. But if you're not familiar, it's online. It's fantastic. We even got a couple people on Facebook that aren't part of the school that are doing it. Take a look at it. It is a lot of fun. And yeah, Mrs. Sterling deserves all the accolades she gets for all the work that she does. Yeah, I think I hit all the notes until I realized something I did forget. But I do know that the next Business Services Committee meeting is going to be April 9th at 4:30 right back here. And to echo everybody here, yeah, early voting is going on right now. Take a look online. You can find the location for that. And then April 1st, it's voting. Do your research. Find out what's there. I have my personal favorites, but go ahead and do your part and vote. I'll end it there. Thanks, guys.
That was good.
With that, I will miss several weeks.
Good evening, everyone. Mrs. Anderson, thank you for bringing the Parker students to here today, this evening, but I got to read to Mrs. Jury's class, and I can't remember the title, but it was dealing with pizzas. I let them pick. So I'll go to this page where it's pizzas, and they were like, oh, that's a side pizza. I don't know. They were telling me which one they like and which one they don't like, so I let them do that. And then after I finished reading, we talked a little bit. Then they wanted me to read another book, so I read another book. Then when I finished that, I, started asking each one of the students about themselves, and they were telling me their names and their siblings. And then one student said, "My brother is 40 years old." And then she said, "No, he's 14." "No, he's 40." I said, "Okay." And they're like, and then I kind of went over because they wouldn't let me leave, but I really enjoyed the class. So I was like, I was looking at Mrs. Dress, "I'm sorry." She said, "Oh, no, that's okay." I said, and they said, "We want you to come back, come back." I said, "Well, I'll be back." But that was an amazing day. I really loved it. And so thank you for all you do and your staff, everything at Parker Center. Also, I want to say congratulations to the boys bowling team and the girls bowling teams, for the boys being the state runner-up and the girls state champions. And I think that goes back. The girls have been really good back in the late 90s.
I can't think of a time where we were bad at bowling.
No, they've been, I can't remember the one girl, her last name was Poole or something like that when she was at school. And she started out, because her mom was a bowler, and her mom ended up passing, but that's when I took notice to their program, how it just kept growing and growing and growing. But that's amazing, because when I was in college, we got a trophy, but we got because of my high hand. I was guttering everything. I'm not a good bowler, and to this day I'm better. I at least can get like 100 and something. Back then it was terrible. But also I wanted to say congratulations to Stacy for being the teacher, the Illinois State Teacher of Excellence. That's an amazing accomplishment, and so I'm tell her, congratulations, wishing her the best. But there's so much stuff I want to talk about, but it's been, so now I know how you guys feel when you go last. I know
Evelyn,
I forget.
behind you, I forgot and everyone else did.
Oh.
The polar plunge.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike forgot, so did I, everyone did.
And your wife too, how was that?
That was cold.
I know, I see you were taking a dive, like a...
Yeah, you went full committed.
Like
that picture better be over like your
I was very worried for you. I was like, does he know this is a kid's pool? He would hurt himself.
It made me feel bad that they had to get the hose out and fill the water up again.
Because you look like Superman, the way you were like flying in a pool, but not in the air, so... let me see.
$7,300.
$7,300 raised?
Yeah.
For Special Olympics too, right? That's awesome.
Something else I wanted to comment on, but I can't remember what it was, but I just want to say, the one that leads the voter Q&A we had this weekend, I want to say Harlem students are amazing. And what I appreciate about the district, everybody in this district, we always give our students a chance to lead. Mm-hmm. In the culinary department for their chocolate chip cookies and their lemonade. It was just delicious, and we have some really good students here that go, especially when they have to be in charge of something. They're real professional, and they always amaze us all the time. So I want to say thank you, students, for a job well done with the questions and everything. You did an excellent job. And I think that's all I have to say, because everything else has been spoken to, so.
I get to go last next week, or next time, just remember that.
The next Equity and Social Justice meeting will be April the 9th, at Committee of the Whole at 4:30.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and thank you.
And with that, turn it over to Dr. Short.
As Mr. McKnight stated, you guys had me for 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours and 17
so-
minutes. I went back and listened. No.
Yes, so I have nothing this evening.
It was a good talk.
Only $200,000 in savings, that's all.
I know, I was disappointed with that a little bit.
All right.
It's sarcasm.
I also have nothing. Oh, sorry.
And there everybody leaves.
That explains why there's people still here.
I only have 13 items tonight. So.
You only lost 2.
I'll start off with the recommendation to approve a resolution declaring surplus property with the Transportation Department, McChesney Elementary, the Administration Center, Wilson Park, and Parker Center. Next is a recommendation to approve facility requests. First one is with Rock River Valley Division of the NMRA, which is a train show at the high school next March.
That's been here a long time, hasn't it?
It's
Or has it been
recently
different?
come back in the last couple of years. It was down in Rockford. It was here. It left for a handful of years. It came back.
I
So
remember as younger used to hear.
this was their first year back or their second year back? Second year back. So, next is the Rock Valley Mustang Club, which is a car show that takes place at McChesney Elementary, mostly outside. They've been doing that for many
We
years.
had it Rock Cut last year.
I don't think so. They've always done it at McChesney.
No.
It might have been
McChesney.
a different show.
one there.
Oh, it's a different car show.
But the Mustangs have been at McChesney since I can remember back. So. And then the final one is Husky Wrestling Club at the high school in December for wrestling. Questions?
Good stuff.
Next is a recommendation to accept the January 2025 Treasurers Report, which I reviewed some of the details at the committee of the whole. I'll just read these, and if you guys have questions, please just let me know. Next is a recommendation to approve a 1-year extension agreement with Athletico Management LLC to provide athletic training services at $36,500. This is an annual increase of $2,500. Next is a recommendation to approve a contract renewal with Northwestern Illinois Association, NIA, for a needs assessment at a cost of $574,005 for the FY26 school year, funded by IDEA Flow-Through Part B grant. This is a total amount of $18,513 less than last year.
Yes.
Next should be an easy one, and that is a recommendation to approve a membership renewal of the IHSA, the Illinois High School Association, for the 25-26 school year at no cost.
You're proud of that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
I don't get many no-cost things. Next is a recommendation to approve agreement with Alpha Controls and Services to upgrade certain controls at the high school for a cost of $87,350. Next is a recommendation to approve a purchase agreement with HMH Education for the purchase of K-5 ELA curriculum for a total cost of $785,287.60.
Can I add that if we go longer, the cost is cut substantially, I believe. I mean, so yeah, so just saying.
Yeah, the one-time purchases plus the yearly
Correct.
consumables.
Right.
So substantially, so, sorry.
No, you're good. Everyone else good? Okay. Next is a recommendation to approve the Harlem School District 122 fee information. So this makes it sound like it's for the entire year, but at Committee of the Whole, we talked about bringing back another recommendation. This recommendation is narrowed in scope to just adding the PE shirt to the $10 for the middle school.
I think since that is the case, I think we need to we should change this to a recommendation to approve the way we bill
just the middle
just
school.
the PE shirts.
That would avoid some
And-
confusion.
Yeah.
Because we can either change it here, what we're recommending, or we wait until we have a comprehensive fee statement, fee structure developed, and then approve it all at the same time. I recommend that we wait until, instead of just approving part of it tonight, just wait until we're done and it's comprehensive and it's ready to go, and then make the approval.
Is there any time constraints to this? Like, we know that part of the actual new ELA program is to give, teachers time to get caught up on it. When we look towards changing the fees of T-shirts, is there a difference in like ordering? Is there a reason to do it now versus pushing
We're
that
trying to
back?
hit before the early registration so that people can put their sizes in.
Oh, well, does it hurt anything, Larry, then? Like, there's a legitimate reason to do it now versus pushing
Well, I
it
don't
back.
mind that, but then we should say on here that the recommendation is to
Oh, I'm off with
approve,
that. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
the T-shirt.
I just don't want to push something off and then,
No, but when you say approve the fees, you make it sound like it's comprehensive.
The fees are May 1st, but in general, but this would allow us to start to build the back end because we have to create a new form in the system to take all of the sizes, and so that's built into the back end of Skyward. So ideally for me, it would be nice to have that, a little bit of leeway to work on that versus waiting.
I'll word it that way.
Yeah, let's just phrase it like the inclusion of T-shirts, whatever.
I'll
Sounds
word it that way
good.
when we vote, that way it'll be
It'll be reworded as just T-shirts.
correct.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Next is a recommendation to approve an agreement with Nikon Networks for fiber optic replacement at all locations with a total cost before E-rate of $233,441.51 and a total cost after E-rate for eligible products of $61,791.91, and that will be paid with tech funds.
From 1 gigabit to 100 gigabit, was it? And then the last time this was redone originally was in 99? So.
At least, yeah.
I
It
think
says mid-90s.
Mid-90s, okay.
So-
Long enough that
Throw
we
ish
don't
in
even
there.
have a number versus the piece of component for the speed there. So just kind of calling that out because I at first was, okay, well, fiber optic is glass, it doesn't change too often, but all the components that are connecting that together, and that's a pretty substantial speed boost.
This work would be done in August also.
Excellent. So that'll be coming online with our additional backbone of speed through MetroNet then?
So the MetroNet is a secondary link.
Yeah, I mean, that's
But,
a backup.
Yeah, I think that will be up June or earlier would be my guess.
Get my house before.
So yeah, let's
Any
take a look.
questions?
That'd be great. We'll be in a good spot.
Great. Next is a recommendation to approve an agreement with Permar Security to update the monitoring systems at Loves Park, Folsom Park, Parker, McChesney, Maple, Marquette, Ralston, Windsor, the middle school, for a cost of $83,172.66, paid with the Stronger Connections grant.
Another good hunt of grants, by the way.
Yeah.
So, $200,000 discounted on this one. Here's another substantial cost that we were able to find with the grant for $83,000. And because maybe you didn't know, because I didn't know up to this point, right? Like for Permar Security, you were saying, if we don't do these upgrades, it's older for everyone else would be, if alarm gets pulled, someone has to go out there to reset the alarm versus having it digital.
A lot of these struggles are giving access.
Yeah.
Or when there's new cards, because the older system is currently not functioning very well. So, for example, we had to make a change of a door at the high school that staff were having trouble getting in. So we were able to do that in just a few seconds by blanket making changes in the new application. So we have technology that's at end of life essentially. So this allows us to be up to date on that. So.
Keeps the kids safe too.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Any questions on that? All right, my last two items. One is a recommendation to approve an intergovernmental agreement with Rock Valley College for the Running Start program. And then there's another agreement for the dual credit articulated credit courses. There aren't any changes in this wording. They just require approval each year.
They're great.
Any questions?
Yeah.
There are no.
Wonder, Josh, how is the solar field going up in, off of Swanson? I know it's still, when I go by there, there's just the flags, and so I just wonder how it's looking to be done by school start or school end? or-
They called me a couple weeks ago and said they were going to start drilling. They haven't updated an ETA yet, but next time I talk to them, I'll just kind of feel them out on what they.
Just be interesting to see how
Beginning?
fast it's going, yeah.
Sure, but with the ground probably just thawing, if I get going here in the
They're
next
probably
week.
working in Florida right now.
If they find oil, they might change it.
I mean, pray. Please. Find oil. Foghorn Solar.
That's my report.
If we do, it's probably a plan.
Oops.
We've all seen that sitcom.
All right, with that, Commissioner Wagner. You have, I guess, 11C3?
Yes, Mr. Sterling. I am pleased to bring the recommendation to approve the non-tenured certified staff recommended for reemployment for the 25-26 school year. And the rest we'll do in class.
Yep. With that, Dr. Troy.
All right, thank you. I got 3 FOIA requests to read here. The first one, response dated February 24th of 2025, with no inclusive documents to request, as submitted by Logan Lehman on February 7th, 2025. The second one, the response including responsive information dated February 24th of 2025 to request submitted by Elaine Nichols on February 17th, 2025. And then the last FOIA request submitted on February 21st, 2025 by Michael Ross of Alamia, I think it's Alam, Data, for an open records commercial request regarding property and casualty insurance policy information. It seems like the season for FOIA requests, but we respond and we get through them, so that's it.
All right. We don't have any facility requests, we don't have any travel requests.
There was facility requests.
There was
Yeah.
one? Oh, yes.
No
the car
travel.
And all this.
Car show, train show.
Correct. Can I get a motion to approve facility requests?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to approve resolution declaring surplus property?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Can I get a motion on a second?
Motion.
For what?
Sorry.
I'll make a motion to accept January 2025 Treasurer's Report.
Only if we cross out the extra A.
Yeah.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Sterling.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith. Mrs.
Yes.
Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve one-year extension agreement with Athletico Management LLC to provide athletic training services for a total cost of $36,500?
Motion.
Second. Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve a contract renewal with Northwestern Illinois Association for needs assessment at a cost of $574,005 for the FY26 school year, funded by the Idea Flow through Part B grant?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
All right.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve membership renewal with the IHSA Illinois High School Association for the 2025-2026 school year?
Motion.
Oops, second.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
What would we do if we don't?
I was thinking the same thing.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve agreement with Alpha Controls and Services to upgrade controls at Harlem High School for a cost of $87,350?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve a 5-year agreement with HMH Education for the purchase of K-5 ELA curriculum for a total cost of $785,287.60?
Motion. Second.
Mrs. Hastings.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks. Aye. Mr. Sterling.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. McKnight.
Yes.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
That was huge.
Can I get a motion to approve the Harlem High School District 122 feet, 4 gym t-shirts, fee for information for the 2025-2026 school year.
Motion.
Take it.
Mrs. Meeks, aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve an agreement with Nikon Networks for fiber optic replacement at all locations? Total cost of the E-rate is $233,441.51. And a total cost E-rate for eligible products of $61,791.91. Paid with technology funds.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve agreement with Perimeter Security and to update monitoring systems at Loves Park, Olson Park, Parker Center, McChesney, Maple, Marquette, Ralston, Windsor, HMS for a total cost of $83,172.66, paid with the Stronger Connections grant. Motion. All right.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Can I get a motion to approve intergovernmental agreement with Rock Valley College for the Running Start program?
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding with Rock Valley College for the dual articulated credit courses?
Motion.
Second. Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
All right. Any more announcements and discussion at this time?
We have 13M still.
Yeah, is that the one that we talked about?
That gets moved because that's part of.
Oh, it's part of the, okay,
that's
got it,
okay.
got it.
No.
No, that's the one.
I thought that was number,
Yeah, that was a different line, a different item. That was C3.
Decided marking them off to make sure. All right. We didn't want to approve something that we need to talk to about later. Can I get a motion to approve non-tenured certified staff recommended for reemployment for 2025-2026 school year?
Motion.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Do we get a second? Second.
yeah, we need a second.
I'll second.
Kurt, or somebody.
Yep.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
That's word. Any announcements and discussion at this time?
Yes, at the committee of the whole, the topic came up in regards to the Department of Education, and we talked about a little bit about federal funds. I think Josh did a really good job. And I just thought that it would be good to bring that back up during the regular board meeting. So for the record, just Josh, I think the question was something like, how does the district interact with the Department of Education, and what revenues do we receive from the federal government?
Sure. Pretty much all of those federal funds flow through ISB, and the main sources of Department of Ed federal revenue are Title I, Title II, and our idea grant. Mick, is there anything else you think that those are kind of the main ones?
Those
at
are
this
the main
point?
ones.
So, and they flow, they send it to the state, and ISB sends it to us, like they would the state grants also.
And you also mentioned that some of the other federal money that we get comes from other departments, and those are department.
The federal lunch money and the Medicaid money that we got.
You had a good point too on the fact that we're still continuing to get, of course, the free breakfast and the free lunch. And there was a concern that as budgets tighten and things change, that there would be the threat to that. But you had mentioned where we sat for the requirement right now and where the requirement originally was and how much real runway we had for overall percentages for that. Do you have those numbers? Are you able to recite that?
Yeah. We're around 58%. So back in the day, the CEP program was at 60 and then dropped to 40. I believe it's at 25% now. So we remain a good portion above that. And we should have 4 years left on our approval for that too.
Excellent, because that's an important one, right? We're going into that. I think it's an absolutely fantastic program that we're part of. And with some of the volatility that could happen, it looks like, unless things really change, we should be good for a while yet.
Yep.
Thanks, Josh.
The comment, thank you, Mr. Smith, for bringing that up. The comment I really took away from that meeting as well, and I think it's important to shout out Mr. Rand here, because, you know, the cabinet members don't get enough
Notary?
yes, thank you, as they should. Mr. Rand came in around the last economic recession. He very confidently stated in business services, as he should, because he does a great job, that, you know, he got us through that recession, and he is confident that he can get us through anything that comes down the pike. And I don't know about you, but as a Harlem parent, sitting on the board and a community member, that gives me a great deal of comfort to know that somebody's got that eyesight on it and has that confidence going in it. So thank you. I appreciate you, Josh.
How many years now? How long have you been sitting in these chairs?
17 years.
17 years, okay.
Not long.
That's true.
This is not really an announcement or discussion, but thank you, Kurt, for bringing up School Rock. I was really bummed I missed that one. Seriously,
Thanks for leaving me one.
It was so good. I went Sunday, so I think I got a little bit different of performance because like everybody was like loose, and from what I gathered, the last portion of the performance, I think some of the members of the cast have a band, and they performed a song. Did you guys get that at the end?
I mean, there was a lot of songs, so you'd have to be more specific.
No, like way at the
Besides, like,
end,
they did the
after bowing and all that
AC/DC and all
stuff,
that, and-
they got on stage and played.
Oh, I'm special for you, I guess.
Yes, so thank you very much.
They all have their voices on Sunday?
I'm really happy I went to Sunday. My kids would not stop talking about it. This will not surprise anybody, and Mr. Smith would probably recognize me the most from these days. But I was a huge like emo kid, and that kid's voice, the lead's voice, could have held its own in any like 2000 to 2006 emo band. It was just incredible. He was really awesome. He reminded me of the lead singer of Modern Baseball, if anybody knows that. I hope that's a compliment for him. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible.
It was a deep take there, Modern Baseball.
So good, so good. So thank you, Kurt, for bringing that up. Thank you guys for letting me talk about it when it's not relevant. I appreciate it.
It's all good. It's relevant.
Now you got everyone who's going to be Googling Modern Baseball.
Yes,
good. I'm just going to put it on my playlist
Good.
now.
It was so good. He was so good. So, all right.
Top 3 songs on Apple Music.
I was just surprised, and thank you for letting me know that he did not lose his voice, because when seeing him Friday going, I don't know how you're going to get to Sunday. That's
None of them. I gave the lead a lot of talk time, but even the young lady who played the principal, holy cow, those notes. You know what I mean?
Did you know that she did that play? She was a lead in the CYT play the weekend before that, and then had another short play kind of thing the week after that. And now this Friday was rehearsals for another play that she got a lead in for Cinderella.
Yeah, I don't know how
these kids
she
are
has a
just
voice.
ridiculous.
I don't know how, but it was absolutely incredible. Like the performance was just super cool. So,
Fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you for letting me talk about it.
You're welcome. You're awesome. Thank you. All right. With that, is there any more?
I just want to say kudos to the Model UN. That is so huge, amazing. I mean, these kids, not only are they going downtown, which is enough of a struggle to be in this place with hundreds and hundreds of kids. And of course, they're thrown in, like they said, to do stuff that they don't even know what they're going to do when they get down there. And, you know, to see them doing, like the one said social studies, and she couldn't wait to do social studies, and this may be something that becomes a career, is to be in either politics or in national news, or, I mean, it just, that the school lets them go down and have a high old time, and they ride the train, and I mean, it's amazing. So I couldn't wait for him to come in, Jason, and then I forgot about it. So I know.
Thank you for bringing it up. I knew it was something I was forgetting, but thank you for bringing it up. You're absolutely right.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
If we run out of things to brag about, I mean, the answer is no. But
We should
until we
never.
remember more.
We should never. There's always something. They're always doing
Can I
something.
get a
cool.
motion to go into
So I have more
executive
to
session
say.
to discuss employment of personnel, 5 ILCS 120-2C1. I believe that covers everything.
That covered everything?
All of it.
Yeah, that'll cover it all, so we have.
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
With that, 5 minutes?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was leaving.